So we've learned, or perhaps been reminded, that you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Zach, from your perspective as a player, how do you feel you bring the best ideas to the ice?
You really have to buy in, and if you're going to do something, you have to do it, and you have to believe in it 100%, because anything worth doing is going to be hard, and there are going to be obstacles along the way, and it's going to be uncomfortable, like we've talked about it. And if you want to be a leader on a team, you have to buy in even when it's hard. And on the ice, when you're competing, it's hard. So you really have to drag guys along and make sure that everybody's competing, and you have to set the standard and the example. Because if you're not doing it, then what's going to stop other guys from not doing it? So you really have to buy in, believe in it, and then outside the ice, if you want to do something outside of hockey or outside of your sport, just believing in yourself and pursuing it, I think, is really important, and following your passions are also very important.
And in a team sport, you may not always agree with what everyone else on the team or behind the bench has to say. So how important is trust when you're trying to buy in?
Yeah, of course. I think that's where the best teams are made, are the most competitive teams, the teams that have guys that push each other in practice, and a lot of the work gets done before the games start. It's all about in practice and competing and getting and maximizing the most out of each other. And when you have guys who are competitive, and everybody here has won a championship, we're striving to get there. So I think they can speak to it about how competitive their guys are, and the leaders on their team, how they drag guys along and set a standard that leads to winning.
We're all at home for the majority of our time as we anxiously await the safe return of sports in North America. And for all of us, regardless of what you do, it's changed how you think about life. It's changed how you think about your job.
Yeah, it's been an interesting time for sure. Where we were just in the final playoff push, where the competitive juices are high, and it's the most competitive time of year. And you go from being ready to play in a game to all of a sudden you're stuck in your condo and you're self-isolating, and it's trying to find and maintain that competitive environment when you're away from your teammates, and you don't know when things are going to start back up again. So that's a situation we're all in now as hockey players, is we want to get back to playing, we want to get back to being with our teammates, but for the time being, you have to maximize what you have, and you have to create your own little personal competitive environment so that when we come back, you can kind of pick up where we left off. And that's what I've been doing off the ice for workouts, at least. And then obviously spending a lot more time at home in this room, actually. So been working on another book that I'm trying to write, and my other companies, and trying to keep busy and keep my mind busy, so that in the time of day when I'm working out, I'm fully focused on that, and fully focused on keeping my body in shape and being ready. But I think it's important to keep your mind ready also, and by doing other things and not just sitting around. I find that doing things that I really like and that I'm passionate about can keep my mind busy and keep me going for when we come back.
What's the best piece of advice you have or you've been given?
For me, something that's always helped me in my career was it's pretty simple, but it's just kind of believing in yourself, and always having that belief and controlling what you can control. As an athlete, there are a lot of things that are out of your control, whether it be where the coach puts you in the lineup, or trades, or anything of that sort, and you can only control what you can control. And the two things that I think are most important is your attitude, the way you present yourself every day, and your work ethic, how hard you're willing to work, and how hard you're willing to maximize your own potential. I think that those are the two most important things, and something that I've always kind of leaned on, and that self-belief is something that I write about in my children's books. And I think that it's really important for kids to know, and especially adults as you get older. Sometimes that can waver, but always knowing your path and what got you to where you are, and why you're successful. I think it's really important.